Hey guys, welcome to Ultimate Fishing Simulator. Today we're talking about Hades. Hades is a dating sim, disguising itself as a roguelike dungeon crawler. In Hades, you will battle your way out of the underworld, facing countless formidable foes. You will wield legendary weapons once brandished by the gods themselves and harness the power of Olympus, only to get one-shot by a regular rat.
I have the power of God and anime on my side!
Wait,
Hades lets you live out your biggest fantasies, like talking to a woman. It won a couple of awards and is widely considered one of the best roguelikes ever made. That's probably because everyone in the game is so fucking hot.
harem in hell, if you will.
Which may also explain why Zagreus is canonically bisexual. If you're not familiar with these wacky gamer terms like roguelike, dungeon crawler or bisexual, let me explain. Roguelikes transport you, the player, to a magical world called a 9-to-5 desk job. Here you will do the same thing over and over.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? No, wait! Fuck you!
They usually also feature permadeath and randomized level and or loot generation. Dungeon crawlers, on the other hand, make you visit r/goon caves to fight the degenerate inhabitants for scraps of their crusted valuables. I strongly advise you to not Google what I just said. Put both together and you get the reason why I'm usually still awake when the sun comes up. Well, that and the Polish man standing in the corner of my vision trying to sell me cigarettes.
Bubr, kurwa!
Despite the name, you don't actually play as a big fella, but instead his son, Zagreus. Zagreus is a literal basement dweller who's trying to move out of his dad's place. The game is loosely based on the rich world of Greek mythology, which is probably a good thing, considering besides philosophy, democracy, and being gay as shit, ancient Greece is probably best known for stuff like this. If you come from a country where education is an optional DLC, buckle up, this is gonna be a fun one. In Greek mythology, Zagreus is the bastard son of Zeus and Persephone. He gets dismembered and eaten by titans, which were incited by Zeus' wife. Let's just say she didn't appreciate her husband's side quests. Oh, and fun fact, they're also brother and sister. Anyway, fortunately for Zag, the goddess Athena managed to save his heart. Zeus turned the heart into a fine powder and mixed it into a potion, which was then given to a woman who became pregnant and later gave birth to the now Dionysus-named god. I'm gonna be honest, this is just clearly someone's barely disguised fetish. I mean, I would know, I follow both the funny cartoon owl and a British man on Twitter. But back to the game. Your father doesn't want you to leave the basement, which means that you have to fight your way through literal hell to enter the surface. Fortunately, you're being helped by who will put you into contact with the gods of Olympus. Throughout your runs, they will offer you their powers to aid in your escape. Also fortunately, you can choose from 6 distinct flavors of hell genocide, including the Stygian Blade, Aegis, legendary shield wielded by Zeus himself, and a fucking gat. This gun has the worst control scheme imaginable. You reload by pressing the right stick. No, I'm not talking about bumpers or triggers, the right stick, which is a clear violation of the Geneva Convention. Buckle up, Supergiant. My lawyers will be in contact. They also decided to give the gun a grenade launcher, which is very nostalgic. I can almost hear the enemies yelling slurs at me. Welcome to the Green Hill Zone. Gotta go fast. This is where you will start every run, and it's also home to some of the most wretched scum of the underworld. These souls are far beyond the point of redemption, and so it's no wonder that this realm is populated with Discord moderators, gym bros, and the remains of Rule 34 artists. Right as you enter, the game hits you with a... And oh boy, let me tell you, the pure dopamine response my body has to the song single-handedly cured my ADHD. Speaking of being easily distracted, this is also where you make contact with the first god and receive their boon.
Greetings, my child. I am Nurgle, Lord of Pestilence. I have entered your domain to offer you a blessing, my most perfect disease. I bestow upon you Ligma.
What the fuck is a Nurgle?
Ligma Bomb.
boons are upgrades given to you by the gods. They can modify your different attacks, have passive effects, or give you an ultimate ability. Each god follows some kind of theme or archetype, like Dionysus, god of wine, who adds poison or hangover damage to your attacks. Oh yeah, Dionysus is also a completely separate god from Zagreus here.
Hey there, Zagman, nice.
Combat in Hades is pretty intuitive. You have your normal and special attack, a cast, a dash, and a dash strike. This is true for all weapons, but depending on the weapon you will use your abilities differently. The sword relies heavily on dash strikes, the gun rewards you for good spacing, and shield users like to hide until enemies die of old age. Enemies are behaving like monkeys on bath salts, making the game this fast-paced dance of dodging and attacking. But I have one issue. I can't see shit. No, this is not the gas station weed or YouTube compression. I just had the audacity to pick up a Zeus boon. If you don't know, Zeus' archetype is to negate your ability to see. Yes, all the particles and effects are very pretty, but please give me an option to turn them off before I develop a fucking seizure. Overall, it still oozes that goblin dopamine goop, which is good because you spend most of your time showing these underworld jabronis who's boss of this gym.
Fuck you, Leatherhead.
Sometimes the game also throws elite enemies or survival encounters at you. Hey, it's waiting, my favorite game mechanic. After finishing an encounter, the game rewards you with a little bit of cheese, so you keep pressing those buttons. Rewards are divided into meta items that help you make permanent progression, don't worry about it, and items that make your character more powerful in your current run. I already mentioned the god boons, but they are also pumps of power, they upgrade your boons, the remnants of communism, which are enhancements for your weapons, and the still beating heart of a half-human, half-horse creature. Of course, the most powerful reward you can get is money, because even in hell, there is no escape from capitalism. Apart from fights and shops, there are also special encounters, like this one. Hey, look, that's the average roguelike enjoyer. At the end of each biome you're going to face a boss. Down here in the Razor headquarters you're going against Meg Griffin from Family Guy. After you have beaten her a couple of times, you may instead face one of her sisters, like this lobotomite.
Murder. Murder.
Welcome to the Bone Zone. This area is overrun by the remains of Irishmen, forever cursed to create an endless stream of IEDs. Apart from them, there is the funny rock, skeletons but blue, and flying heads. Do you hear that? That's the pure essence of dopamine, a neuron activation so strong I actually shifted into gamer mode. I'm of course talking about fishing. Fishing points have a random chance of spawning pretty much everywhere. Yes, even here in the Minecraft Nether. Speaking of things that don't belong in fiery hell, the special encounter for this biome is a tree girl. What the fuck is a sentient tree doing here? I mean, look at this. It feels like I'm just one guide voodoo doll away from summoning the wall of flesh. The boss in this biome is pretty easy. Just make sure to not die to the Welcome to my dad's place. Don't touch his Xbox. This is the House of Hades, which I mean, relax dude, it's not like I'm calling my flat the Chamber of Ramaron. Actually, this is the place where you will go after your death, and also where the game will spoon feed you story and lore in between runs. You enter through the cleanest public pool I've ever seen and are greeted by Hypnos, who's a grim reminder that even in death, you will still have to go to work. Following the path, you will meet the main man himself, Cerberus. Oh, and Hassan is also here.
What a fucking...
The Great Hall branches off into different paths from here. The West Wing is pretty much empty, besides this absolute giga chat. In the East Wing you will find Nyx, my beloved. Oh, and there's also an entrance to the lounge. Here you can meet Mag, not only a boss, but also a character that people have strong feelings about. And then there's Dusa, another character people have strong emotions about. I refuse to elaborate any further, trust me, it's better for both your and my mental health. You can give almost all named characters skooma, pushing them to develop an addiction that they mistake as a growing bond between you. This is the dating sim part of the game and I'm not even kidding. You can romance 2 of the characters and get friendzoed by the flying head. When you gift any character their first dose of black tar heroin, they reward you with their keepsake. Keepsakes are little trinkets that you can equip for various buffs and effects. In the House of Hades you will also find the Delaware Construction Company, where you can give build orders for things that make your runs easier. This includes stuff like fountain chambers, gold urns, or a Funko Pop collection. But that's not all, because this is also where you roleplay as an interior designer. Another form of meta progression is staring into a mirror. Like in real life, this is the best way to level up. In Hades you spend darkness to acquire different talents, like being too angry to die or getting pocket money from your father. You can use keys to unlock new talents, but these can also be spent to unlock different Wait a minute. No way, they put fucking Asmongold into this game?
Sup y'all, it's me, it's your boy Asmongold.
Skelly is by far the best character in the game and also a giant missed business opportunity for Supergiant. Okay, enough talking, it's time to finally move out of your dad's place. For real this time.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Fortunately for you, I can just skip all this with the magic of video. Welcome to the Windows XP background. Drink from the Dementia River to numb your memories. Trust me, you will need it. That's because the enemies here are interesting. One of them is the pure essence of hate, visualized in game as a ball of butterflies. Yeah, speaking of pure burning hatred, the fucking shield guys. Jesus! Not only do they block all damage coming from the front, but these are also exalted enemies, meaning you have to kill them twice or they just respawn. Oh yeah, and did I mention that basically everything in Elysium gets a fuck you bar as well? Armor prevents stagger, stuns, and is basically just a second HP bar. Elysium also features a boss fight, but this one is a little bit different. 2 men. Yes, our bodies are strong, but our friendship is stronger. Of course, this biome has a duo boss fight. You will face Big Bull and Twink Boy. Asterius has a huge axe, can leap to your position and charge you like a cow. Theseus has the ability to never shut the fuck up. Seriously, this dude just doesn't stop talking.
And I too shall oblige. That is, oblige my trusty spear which yearns to penetrate.
This needs to stop now.
He also has a shield. Oh yeah, did I mention that when he gets to 50% HP, he just throws a tantrum and cries for the gods to help him? What a great guy.
Ha! Got him! Ha! Got him!
Welcome to church. Don't forget to make a donation to the funny Bone Man. This formerly ornate temple has been falling into disrepair and is now nothing more than a rundown crack den. Unlike the previous biomes, this one comes with RNG progression. To ascend and face the final boss of the game, you have to feed your dog. To be exact, you will have to find the Satyr Sack, which is hidden behind one of these 5 doors. The rooms here are way smaller and the enemies make me want to commit several war crimes against my PC. So you may ask, what monstrous creatures could push me to my limits in this final stretch of the underworld? Fucking rats.
Rat goes like this.
But if that's not enough, some of the enemies can also inflict poison. This is a ticking dot that lasts until you have cleared the room or until you drink the gamer girl bathwater. Okay, I'm gonna spoil the end boss now. If you haven't played the game, I give you about 3 seconds to skip to the timecode here before I appear behind you and snap your neck like a 7-Eleven hot dog. Okay, real Oedipus hours. Patricide is not a suggestion, it is a necessity. That's because, like a redneck trying to figure out who impregnated his girlfriend, you will end up fighting your dad. He is a quirked up white boy busting it down spear style. His main moves are a lunge and a whirlwind spin. He can also go invisible and ambush you. To counter that, you can track his footsteps. Yes, like that cat girl from Dark Souls. What gets me the most is his skull cast. He shoots a skull at you that applies a nasty debuff, making you take 100% more damage. You could say he's keeping it 100 for real. Honestly, this boss is kinda hard, but with enough skill, dedication and perseverance, you can overcome this final challenge. Ascend beyond your limitations and finally, after dozens of tries, beat this boss. This is my message to my master. This is a fight you cannot win. I And so it ends. The Lord of Darkness, the unbreakable wall keeping you in the underworld, shattered, vanquished, now suffering the fate you endured so many times. Following the path behind him, you will enter Greece. It is an incredible payoff for something that probably took you dozens of hours. The atmosphere, the visuals, this hauntingly beautiful song. I love that you can only walk, not run the first time you make it here, forcing you to just take it all in. But what I love the most is when you reach the cliff and finally, for the first time, see the sun. Hades certainly isn't a perfect game, but this moment is. As you venture further, the music changes and you approach a beautiful farm. A small oasis nestled between cold, harsh cliffs. In the midst of this scene stands a small house, and right there in front of the house you will find her, your mother. Finally, someone that can get you the funding for your Web3 startup so you can move out of your dad's basement. You're sure she will understand the chance of this revolutionary blockchain-driven dating app, powered by its own proprietary cryptocurrency, Luminary Love Coins.
What? How dare! Get out of here! Get out or I shall make you! Out with you!
Back to the basement, I guess. I thought coming home after vanquishing your dad will be kinda awkward, but your father tries to gaslight gatekeep girlboss's way out of the situation by not acknowledging what happened at all.
Nonsense. Don't you think I would recall such an event?
Congratulations, you beat the game. Now you have to do it 9 more times to experience the true ending where Zagreus finally gets to live his dream of owning every single amiibo. That doesn't even make sense. Why did I write that in the script? To help keep replaying the game interesting, there are also some new ways of progression. First of all, you can feed your weapons the blood of old people to unlock new weapon aspects. These change how weapons will play. For example, the aspect of Chiron gives your bow auto-aim for its special attack, or the aspect of Hestia, which buffs your gun's damage after manually reloading, which again is bound to clicking the right stick. I have now opened a class action lawsuit against Supergiant for the audacity of not just putting reload on the right stick, but also doubling down by having a weapon aspect completely dedicated to it. And then there's also the big glowing skull thing. The Pact of Punishment allows you to simulate the struggles of being an adult. There are 15 different conditions you can toggle on and off, each with 1 to 5 ranks that make escaping the underworld harder. They range from paying taxes, over having to deal with middle management, all the way to inflation and getting over the age of 25. Enabling any of them will fill up your heat gauge. Successfully defeating boss with your heat gauge maxed will grant you additional bounties. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this system, but I mean it's also not bad, so Oh yeah, and while we're here, I think what makes the game so addicting is the House of Hades itself. While other roguelikes treat your death like a hard cut and just boot you into a menu screen, Hades makes failing fun by constantly dangling character interactions and permanent upgrades in front of you. This works especially well since Supergiant is really good at creating likable characters. Yeah, dying 30 minutes into your run may suck, but at least you get your daily dose of dopamine by talking to the big darkness mummy. Anyway, the crazy part is that they already made Hades in 2017, kinda at least. To be specific, they made a team-based basketball RPG called Pyre that I think about 4 people played. Yes, I know the gameplay is kinda mid, but the real heart of the game are the characters. I played this for about 10 hours back in 2017, most of that on a train ride, and these characters are still stuck in my mind. It is an incredibly underrated game, and you should definitely play it. I may do a whole video about it at some point, but probably not too soon, because I have some other stuff on my list first. But not only did they already make Hades before, they are doing it again. Hades 2 is to be released in early access sometime in 2023. Allegedly. Bisexuals had their fun. Now it's time for bisexuals. You play as Melania, Blade of Mikola, trying to free her father from the grasp of the titan Kronos. The whole game looks like Hades reached its edgy hot topic phase, which sounds bad, but I'm actually pretty okay with it. The visuals definitely have gotten a big upgrade, which is great, but Supergiant, if you want to make this game of the year, listen to me. First of all, we need Biome variety. If I ever have to see Asphodel again, I'm going on a quest to find a Necronomicon and summon an old one to unleash their never-ending wrath upon humankind. As a recreation of Dead Cells enjoyer, I would say just copy what they are doing and let the player choose their own path through the game. Second, just go wild with the weapons. I know magic's gonna be a big part of Hades too, but you already had a gun in the first game, so why not go a step further and let me pilot a fucking AC-130? And most importantly, I know some characters are gonna return, so please guys, bring back Skelly and maybe Bodhi. Overall, the trailer looks really amazing, and I don't wanna overhype a game that isn't even out yet, but they have a fucking frog in there, and you can pet it. And also, when have video game secrets ever been bad?
All around me are familiar faces.
Okay, I'm gonna slightly raise my voice now and scream about how much I like Hades, so you know it's the climax of the video. Hades is my favorite action roguelike hack and slash dungeon crawler interior designer dating sim. It is surprising how well the game manages to balance its different aspects while still making each part reasonably fun. I really like the characters in Hades, and no, it's not just because they're hot. Hades has consumed more than 100 hours of my life across 2 different playthroughs and managed to get me absolutely addicted both times, which is amazing value for 25 golden doubloons. It is a great game for a quick run in between doing other stuff, or 10 runs in a row if you're like me and like any sense of self-control. I give it 4 skelly body pillows out of 5 tiny vermin.
That's the normal rap.
Hey, I just want to say thanks again for all the kind words in my debug video. Having so many people see the stuff I make has been really cool, and yeah, wrap it up, lover boy. Nobody wants to get all emotional. The video is now over. Bye.
I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid.